Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing all right. So, I just wanted to bring this up. We were very, 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 very interested with the likes of the Flashbacks Hoodie and Pants. We immediately looked at it, saw it, and said, wow, this is looking to be a nice comparable option to the likes of Forest Raiders. With Forest Raiders being very expensive for the full set, it's very nice to see a budget option appear. So we've just got the hoodie and pants, and with the comparison, the green looks pretty good, especially in the environment that we see here. Now, you can question it as much as you want. At the very least, that's good enough for a lot of people. So we were expecting a lot of sales. Well, the result is it's done a lot of sales, it's just, it doesn't look super crazy. And I can just kind of make a quick comparison right now to kind of give you the good idea where this might end up reaching with its total sales. So just a month ago, we had what appears at the moment to be the final piece of the Legacy Kevlar skins, which was the road sign vest and the Kevlar coffee helmet. So what we have here was just about 11,600, 700 sales, on the subscriber count. Over to here, both of these around 11,800. So it's very similar. But at the very least, we can actually go ahead and see where these ended up at, can't we? So why don't we go do that? So I'm going to go over to here, and we're going to go over to what it's currently like right now. So these are just over 12,000 sales at the moment. If I just go over to the past month, we can look over to here, and these two skins ended up with just over 24,000 sales. Now, that's the subscriber count. We don't know how many skins each of those individual subscribers bought, but we could probably sit here and say about 25,000 sales happened. I do expect more. I do expect more hidden away in private accounts out there, hidden away. But point is, it didn't sell ridiculously. That's doing quite all right. But I'm still cautious, and I'm still hesitant, okay? We've got to remind ourselves that just because it's in demand doesn't necessarily it's not going to fail. And if anything, we could go back to Legacy Kevlar and use that as the prime example. For you see, Legacy Kevlar was very, very in demand. It was a budget blackout option, and loads of people jumping in, buying it like crazy, and it did kind of lead to an awkward, result. So let's just kind of go back to the past, where we saw the first two skins appear for the set. That being Legacy Kevlar vest and face mask. These were accepted in the special Rust store for its 10th anniversary, which is, if we just go back over to here, if you can remember, Rust's 10th anniversary, and to our surprise, that was accepted, but it was very much in reference to the old face mask and chest plate and whatnot. So anyway, that's cool, that's nice. What happened was, initially, it didn't do very well, because they did sell ridiculously. The face mask, a lot of people made a huge fuss about, oh yeah, it's got like a transparent like face, it's going to deceive people, it's paid to win, blah, 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 blah. That is actually what led to it doing a ton of sales. And, both of them being a nice blackout alternative budget option, they did sell ridiculously. So initially, they did go down a fair bit, and we're going to go show you that right now. So here's the chest plate, and you can see with its initial history, it did kind of stagnate, didn't really go far. But what's this? What's happened here? What made this quadruple in price? What went on going on here? Well, we of course saw continuations. We see at the very beginning of December, we saw these being accepted, but there's a 2-week gap where we happen to have what was it? Christmas. And very weirdly, these persisted for 2 weeks. I don't know, but let's just move on. Basically, once we're all said and done with Christmas time, what did we see right here? A continuation. And then what did we see the very next week? Another continuation. So, with those continuations, even though the chest plate and the face mask, after selling ridiculously with tons of these skins in circulation, and after a while they had tons of listings as well, even right now as you can see here, what happened was when we saw those continuations, it went crazy, okay? When there is a continuation for a very in-demand set, as you can see here, they rise up very nicely. Spike in demand, spike in price. So this is where I revert back over to the likes of what we're seeing with our current skins. Over here, sorry about that, I clicked the wrong thing, with Flashbacks. Flashbacks, conveniently, is the first core piece. Core pieces are referred to as hoodie and pants, tier 2, tier 3. And yeah, we might have had the right helmet before, but that's not a core piece. It's more specifically the skins I'm talking about. Basically, with core pieces, if there were to be a new core piece being accepted, I'm sure many of you are well aware of this, we tend to see a spike in demand, spike in price for the pre-existing skins. And a perfect example is literally right here, Damascus. Damascus Tier 2, Damascus Tier 2 was accepted very recently, as you can see right here. But previously we had Tier 3 and Hoodie and Pants. And for a fairly long time, we did not see Tier 2 being accepted. Those skins dropped off very badly. They were not doing very well. But lo and behold, we saw these skins being accepted yesterday. Guess what? Go look at Damascus right now, and what you see, it's doing a lot better. It's in the positive now. These two skins right here were like sitting at 70 cents each. These two were not as bad. Well, they're slightly above $1, but they've doubled because a new core piece appeared. This is normal behavior, all right? This happens routinely pretty much all the time. This is pretty much the main thing that we always want to keep an eye out for potential investments and profits and whatnot. So, as we've just established, we know that this is a reliable thing that usually keeps happening, but in regards to a very in-demand set, well, you've got to keep an eye out for this, and we've got to be prepared for this. So I'm sure many people are fully well aware that that likely will happen. And even though the sales at the moment don't look like it's going to be ridiculous, don't be surprised if a lot of people will wait until the very end, much like I am. And as I always say, it's usually best to wait until Thursday to make your purchases and whatnot. I'm still looking at both of these skins, expecting them to do about 30,000 sales. But I kind of wouldn't be surprised if we're kind of wedged between 25 to 30,000 sales. But it doesn't really matter too much if we do see the continuations. Now, initially, we thought the same with the likes of Legacy Kevlar. We thought, it can't lose, surely it's all right. Well, Hoodie and Pants can say otherwise. When loads of people get involved and, happen to really like the set, they're going to go buy tons of the skins. And they're going to expect instant gratification. They're going to expect instant profits. That's what happened in regards to the likes of the Hoodie and Pants here. Tons of these were bought. Loads of these were thrown onto the Steam market and, of course, the third-party sites and whatnot. And if you go see the state of them right now, both of them selling for $1.99, they are nowhere near that right at the moment. Oh, dear. Oh, no. And, of course, you see big, fat quantities being listed. That is doing it no favours whatsoever. So please be aware of this. Whilst we're in a very good position with this brand new budget Forest Raiders set, that being our lovely flashback set, do be cautious and do be aware that things can still go wrong. But in the current position for the Hoodie and Pants, they seem to be all right. Just be aware of what potentially could happen next. And of course, keep an eye on the workshop, because do we know if we're definitely getting a continuation yet? It's been asked, and I'm pretty sure Mr. Algorithm is pretty happy with the amount of sales he's getting at the moment, and I'm pretty sure we'll very likely be seeing a continuation, because why would you not want to have more money? He's printing money at the moment, so it's doing well, and I'm sure Face Punch will probably want to follow suit, because of course it's doing very nicely, but there are no guarantees, right? There are no guarantees that we're definitely going to see a continuation being made and accepted, okay? Be prepared for that. So at the very least, this is doing nicely, but just be aware, if we don't see any continuations, that might still be a problem. However, it's still very useful. And as we've already pointed out, back over to here, once again, they are fairly nicely comparable. And we did showcase a lot yesterday in my Restoration video just over here. I actually have a little section dedicated where we talked about the various different skins. So here it is, where it's discussing budget Forest Raiders options. We were looking at the likes of various different options that you could do for pairings. You could whip out the likes of Elite Crate Tier 3. You could go get the likes of Reptile Hunter skins and whatnot. And you can do a bit of mix and match, depending on your budget. Now, again, not everybody's going to like doing that. Fair enough. Everybody has different opinions and different taste and different, ideas in how they're going to approach certain skins. Some people just want to have a decent amount of green, so they can do. They can not be seen so easily in the likes of the grassy fields and foresty areas and whatnot. So fair enough, cool. We've established that. But like I've been talking about in regards to these, is this the first time we've seen the likes of green skins with continuations? No. And I did bring this up in my Restoration video, Elite Crate. Okay, we were very hopeful for Elite Crate. We honestly thought it was going to be a full collection. We only got another continuation, but that led to a bit of a problem, and that was oversaturation within the collection. These two skins right here, they did about 16,000 sales, and they're totally fine, no issue, no problem. They've done very nicely since they've been accepted. But what followed were these two skins, Elite Crate Hoodie and Pants, and they sold about 28,000 each. There's far too many of these in comparison to these, and that led to, the position that they're currently in. they're not doing good, are they? Now, unfortunately, we never did get tier 2. There was attempts. There was definitely an attempt for the Elite Crate tier 2. We never got it, though, unfortunately. Maybe a future complete the sets. Fingers crossed. But it didn't happen. And that's the point I'm trying to get across. Nothing is a guarantee. Don't assume Flashbacks is definitely 100% going to be finished. Face Punch can be very weird sometimes. They've accepted the likes of a continuation for a green set right here, but then they didn't with Elite Crate. They didn't finish it. They didn't allow it to get its final piece. And that, unfortunately, is half the reason why those Hoodie Pants are not doing very well, and why it's also why the Elite Crate tier 3 isn't doing super great either. So, I mean, the tier 3 did better in terms of retaining its value, but the Hoodie Pants... So, in short, just kind of be a bit sensible in regards to these Hoodie Pants. As I said, the smart approach is always to wait it out until the Wednesday. We will assess the amount of sales that have happened, and then we like to do our abnormal barders. Both of these skins right here, they are abnormal. They're going to be appearing at a set time, which will be Wednesday night, midnight time, rolling into Thursday, UK time. I will be streaming then, so just wait for my Wednesday stream. I'll hop in, we'll discuss what's about to happen, and we can all like jump in and, attack it. And then afterwards, we can look at how many barders they have, because we will then have 20 hours where we can see how crazy people are, putting their barders in there, and if, it would show a good sign whether those skins have the demand and whether they very likely would retain their value. And we did that with all of the Legacy Kevlar skins. But as we did see with the likes of some of those Legacy Kevlar skins, they still went down. I can verify that even the Hoodie Pants right here had very, 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 very strong barter support, yet they're still here in this position, almost half in price. So let's just point that out once again. Just because it's very in demand doesn't necessarily mean it's foolproof. It can still go quite wrong. So assess how much, Steam wallet you have, and approach Flashbacks wisely, safely, and reasonably. You've got to be cautious still, all right? So it is what it is. But at the moment, we have not yet seen any signs of the armor, being produced. But that's not going to happen like this early. Keep an eye on the workshop, all right? Keep an eye out and see all the new skins that are being submitted. And if you do potentially see Flashbacks tier 2 or tier 3 being submitted this weekend, then of course, you feel a whole lot more confident by then, wouldn't you? So it's a waiting game now. It's a bit awkward, but just try and avoid potential pitfalls, all right? So yeah, sorry if this was just a bit of a ramble, but we have to learn. We do have to learn about what happened very recently, because you just go see the likes of Legacy Kevlar at the moment, and unfortunately, the excess purchases did lead to what was that? Big fat quantities on the Steam market. But funnily enough, with the likes of what we saw over here with these two pieces, because they sold significantly less compared to the rest of the skins, they're actually doing all right. They don't have ridiculously fat quantities in the Steam market or whatever. They're doing perfectly fine. Even the kilt didn't do too crazy compared to these, and that's still doing okay. But yeah, just be wiser, and hopefully everything will work out a little bit better. So yeah, it is what it is. And basically, maybe don't spend what you can't afford to lose. That's another thing, yeah. Someone brought it up before, and I want to make sure I keep saying that a lot more from here and now. Just because something looks to be very appealing and very appetizing, potentially for in a sense of making great profit, still, even then, don't offer what you can't afford to lose. If you go put a whole bunch of money from your bank account onto Steam, and then it just goes horribly wrong, well, yeah, that's not fun, is it? So only put aside what you can lose. This should be seen more of a thing for fun, in a sense, or just an activity. But don't go super crazy. Try your best to avoid doing things like that. Like, I'm in a position where everything I have right now is a positive, because I only put so much in at the very beginning, and well, everything from here and now, regardless of what happens, is still positive for me. You're not in a position like I am. So yeah, just want to pass it on. It's like, kind of keep it like safe. Sorry, again, bit rambly. And I will point this out. Do consider, following me on the likes of Twitter. I'm always putting things out like this. And over the course of this weekend, and as of Monday, the perfect little gif for the recent rug skin. I will be retweeting all the people who will be submitting skins. And hopefully we'll see something for algorithm. Because, yeah, I really do hope we do see a continuation. I really do hope we see a much more affordable set compared to Forest Raiders. Because even now, even after these two things have appeared, how's the hoodie and pants currently looking? $26 and $14. So, they have gone down a little bit, haven't they? But still $40. And the whole set, $220. So, yeah, let's try and see if this set does progress further. Let's, keep our fingers crossed and see how it turns out. And, yeah, hopefully that'll all work out very nicely. Chat, do you feel a little bit more confident now? Because at the very least, the core point I wanted to get across is, yes, the hoodie and pants do look quite appealing and they do seem to be reasonable. It does look like with the current progress, their sales aren't going to be ridiculous like what Legacy Kevlar was. But even then, we have to wait and see what the final result is, and we have to kind of see how things turn out with potential continuations. Because once we got the final amount with our hoodie and pants, the next continuation has to basically match up with the amount of sales for things to work out. Otherwise, we potentially might end up with an Elite Crate awkward problem. Yeah. And we don't want another Elite Crate awkward problem. If Flashbacks will get a full set, is there potential for Forest Raiders to go lower cost? No, I don't think this will ever match up to Forest Raiders. I don't think Forest Raiders would decline terribly. Forest Raiders will still be the go-to option. It's too entrenched in that. Too many big fat borders put in place. The prices will maintain to a reasonable point. You gotta be aware of this, Mr. Marduk. A lot of the Forest Raiders skins recently reached their new all-time high prices. So again, if I go to Forest Raiders, we could look at the pants. Pants was actually one of them, and you will see for yourself that the pants probably have only slipped just a little bit. So we'll find out real quickly as I take a quick look. So over to here, Forest Raiders pants currently selling for, as we've just said, $26. And if you quickly look at all of these, it's all well spread out. It's just 1111111. But the price history is what we care about. And what do we see over to here? Yes, look at that. Yeah. So, yeah, certain skins right now are dipping in price. We are well aware of that, aren't we? But it's seemingly even affecting the likes of, Forest Raiders. And then the added fact that we just saw the likes of the flashbacks. So it was peaking around here in the middle of January, but it seems to have stagnated. And very recently, very, very recently, it seems to have gone down a little bit here. So, yeah, maybe that's just a little blip and it just goes back to normal. Like it'll go back up again. Who knows? But it's just too strong. It's just too strong. That's never going to crash. That's never going to burn. So, yeah. It's too good, Mr. Marduk. So, if you can't afford that, I'm very sorry. You might have to look at another option. Yeah. So, there you go. That's the positive thing with that. But, yeah. That was my whole ramble there. I hope it was reasonably insightful and whatnot. And, yeah. Trask says, will there be a burlap set? There were attempts for Forest Raiders, burlap and hide clothing, but that didn't get anywhere. That was submitted last year. No acceptance, so yeah. Right, so thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.